Hello, in this lesson we're going to look at GST. So GST, or the Goods and Services Tax, is a flat 10% charge which is given to almost all goods and services offered in Australia. It's always 10%. However, there are some necessities, items that we require to live, which are exempt. So some things won't have GST charged. When you have a receipt, if GST was charged, there'll be an asterisk next to those GST exempt items. Otherwise, it's assumed that GST was charged. You can also find a list of which goods and services don't have GST included on the ATO website. We're first going to look at how we calculate GST. So no, GST is a flat charge of 10%. And we want to find out what the GST is that's been added. So what's been added to the original price if the original price is $40. So we start with $40. We want to find what 10% of that is. So we go GST equals 10% of $40. And then we can calculate that. We're going to get $4. So our answer there, or the GST that's added on here, is $4. Have a go, see what GST is added if the original price was $70. Okay, so we have, again, GST equals 10% of our original price, which is $70. So we calculate that, we get $7. Now we're going to look at how we would calculate the GST inclusive price. So this is the price once we've added the GST on. So again, the flat charge is 10%. And for the inclusive price, we are adding 10%. So that's what inclusive price means. We're adding 10% to the original. So GST inclusive price equals the original price, the price we started with, plus the 10% original. So this is the GST. Hence it's GST inclusive. We could rewrite this as we have 100% is the original, and we're adding another 10% on, which is the GST. So we're going to end up with 110%, which would be easier to write as a fraction. So we're going to get that the GST inclusive price is 1.1 times the original price. Now we're going to do an example. So we know that the price was originally $40. We want to work out what it was once GST was added. So we could go $40 plus 10% of 40, which is our GST, which is going to give us $40 plus $4. So we end up with $44. Or we could use this formula down here, which is 1.1 times the original price, which is $40, which is going to give us, again, $44. Now it's your turn. What would the GST inclusive price be if we started with $85? Okay, so we're going to go we'll just use the formula. You could use the other method if you wanted to. 1.1 times $85 is going to give us $93.50. So that would be our answer. So now we're going to look at how we would calculate the original price once we have a price including the GST. It might be something that seems like you would just take 10% off, but it's not quite that simple. So here I have a diagram to help us understand. We have this blue part is our original price. So that's the 100% that we start off with. We then have our GST over here, this golden part, which is the extra 10% that we've added on. And the total of it, the GST inclusive price, is 110%. Now if we have this 110%, we have 11 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 total parts. And we want to find out what the price is of just 10 of these parts. So we're going to find 10 of 11 parts, or 10 divided by 11, of this GST inclusive price. So times GST inclusive price. So this is our formula for the GST exclusive price. It's going to equal this. Yep. So this is what we're aiming for. Here we've got the formula that we saw before, so it's just a different way of working it out. And we've used a bit of maths, divided both sides by this 1.1, and we get the original price, or the GST exclusive price, is the inclusive price divided by 1.1. And you'll find that if you divide by 1.1, that's the same as multiplying by 10 over 11. Okay, so now we're going to quickly work out an example. We're given the GST inclusive price is $100. We need to take off the GST. So we're going to use the first of the formulas that we looked at before. We're going to go $100. We want 10 of the 11 parts that we now have. And if we put that into a calculator, we're going to get $90.91. So that's our original price, which we had to round to get to the correct answer. Here's an example. Can you find what the original price was if, including GST, we pay $85? Okay, so again, we're going to go for $85 times 10 over 11, which is going to give us $77.27. So that's the original price if we're now charged $85. I hope that lesson's made sense. This is the content that we've covered. Please let me know if you have any questions.